Cast members are guilty of issues that drive me up the wall. Every season, Part 1. The new season had barely begun when viewers once again found themselves talking about two familiar cast members. Every year, the show introduced new couples, new dreams, and new challenges. But somehow, the same patterns kept returning. While many participants tried to build strong relationships and create happy futures, a few individuals seemed determined to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Among the returning faces were Daniel and Serena. Both had become well known among fans for their dramatic personalities and their tendency to turn small problems into major conflicts. Neither of them was a bad person, but their habits often created frustration for everyone around them. Daniel had entered the season with high hopes. He was engaged to a woman named Isabella, who lived thousands of miles away. They had spent years talking online, sharing dreams about the future, and planning a life together. When Isabella finally arrived in the United States, everyone expected the couple to spend their time learning about each other and preparing for marriage. Instead, Daniel immediately became obsessed with proving that he was right about everything. The first disagreement happened during a simple shopping trip. Isabella wanted to buy decorations for their apartment. She imagined a warm and comfortable home where both of them could feel welcome. Daniel, however, insisted that every decision should be his. When Isabella suggested a different color for the living room curtains, Daniel spent nearly 20 minutes explaining why his choice was better. "It's only curtains," Isabella said with a smile. But Daniel refused to let the topic go. By the end of the conversation, both of them were annoyed. Their friends watched the scene unfold and exchanged concerned looks. "Why does everything have to become a debate?" one friend quietly asked. Nobody had an answer. A few days later, the couple met Daniel's family for dinner. The evening started well. Everyone laughed, shared stories, and enjoyed the meal together. Isabella made a strong effort to connect with Daniel's relatives, asking questions and showing genuine interest in their lives. For a moment, it seemed like everything was finally moving in the right direction. Then Daniel began correcting people. When his brother told a story, Daniel interrupted. When his mother shared an opinion, Daniel interrupted again. When Isabella described something about her hometown, Daniel immediately explained why her perspective was incomplete. The atmosphere slowly changed. People stopped talking as much. Conversations became shorter. The energy that had filled the room disappeared. After dinner, Isabella sat quietly in the car. Daniel noticed her silence. "What's wrong?" he asked. "Nothing." "There is definitely something." She hesitated. Then she finally spoke. "You don't always have to win." Daniel looked confused. "What do you mean?" "You turn every conversation into a competition." The word surprised him. For a few seconds, he didn't know how to respond. Instead of listening, however, he immediately defended himself. And that was exactly the problem. Across the country, another familiar cast member was creating challenges of her own. Serena had become famous among viewers for constantly changing her mind. Her fiancé, Marcus, cared deeply about her and wanted their relationship to succeed. Unfortunately, he never knew what to expect from one day to the next. One morning, Serena would be excited about wedding plans. The next morning, she would want to postpone everything. Then she would change her mind again. Marcus tried his best to stay patient. He listened carefully. He supported her goals. He encouraged her whenever she felt uncertain. But the constant changes were exhausting. One weekend, the couple visited a wedding venue. The location was beautiful. A large garden surrounded the building, colorful flowers lined the walkways, and a peaceful fountain stood in the center of the property. Serena loved it. "This is perfect," she said. Marcus smiled. For the first time in weeks, he felt relieved. Maybe they were finally making progress. They met with the venue manager, discussed available dates,